Achtung, Achtung, hier ist Alex Wright, and you are listening to Chat, Grapple, and Cheat Pops with JB and Chris Dredd. Enjoy it, or I come over and kick your ass.
Hey, yo, welcome to Chat, Grapple, and Cheat Pops podcast. I am Chris Dredd, here with my main man, JB. And we're here with another little review. We've got a few bits to say about a few bits and bobs. And first of all, I think we need to get the unfortunate business out of the way, but we've got to pay our respects to the one, the only Scott Hall. You know, the guy... He is a wrestling legend. He, along with Hulk Hogan, and Kevin Nash, created what would become one of the most famous wrestling factions, in history. So, yeah, I mean, we've got to, throw the toothpick in respect to Scotty, man.
Yeah. Hey, yo, indeed. It's one of them, like, I was 5 years old when I first, I saw Diamond Stud and all that, like, before that. But when I was 5 years old, I'm watching WWF at 92, and this guy comes on the scene, Razor Ramon. And fuck, man. Out of this world, this character. Like, he just looked like a badass. And you knew he was something special. He could work his ass off. I mean, something you later on see down the line, like with some of his matches. Like, he had some, some excellent matches with Shawn Michaels, with Kevin Nash. He pulled some stuff off of Kevin Nash that you didn't think was possible. Matches with, Kid, Sean Waltman, especially in 93, he's the one that put over Waltman, made him a star.
He was the first segment on WWF Raw. Yeah. First segment ever was Vince McMahon in the ring with Reza Ramon in that fucking man, you know what I mean, with that shirt. It was... I mean, if you get the box set, there's the box set, the history of Raw, that you can get a DVD box set, and it's got on a bonus disc, it's got the first episode of Raw, and it's got that segment. It's got, I think, Doink the Clown was all over it as well. Fucking Raw is still going today.
Yeah,
the longest running weekly TV show, live TV show in history, I think.
Yeah, it must be. Scott was on Raw, and he flipped over. You know who I am.
Yeah.
And he turns up on Nitro. He completely flips his career like into the stratosphere with that stuff, teaming up with Hogan and Nash, and forming the NWO, like you see on Chris's t-shirt. He's rocking an NWO. I'm not rocking an NWO. It looks like an NWO, but it's TWT.
I'm rocking the Wolf Pack, bruv. The Wolf Pack. There's a difference, baby. I the red and black as well. I mean, NWO ran its course, and in the end, it started to get a bit fucking, diluted and shit when you got fucking Virgil and all that, or Vincent and all them fucking involved. And, even in WWE in the later times, fucking Booker T was in the NWO, wasn't he?
For some reason, yeah.
For a week.
Just reasons, yeah.
So you know, you can't take away what Scott Hall did for the business, and often he gets overlooked. I mean, think about this. Think about the small amount of time, really, that he was in WWF. Really, wasn't that long amount of time.
92 to 96.
92 to 96.
Yeah.
It's 4 years, bro. It's nothing.
And he came into the WWF and he walked into the main event, like it's pretty much in a program with Savage and
Machismo versus Macho.
Yeah, like,
well, just quickly as well, there is a kayfabe commentaries. They put his interview up, and it's a fucking great watch. But one interesting part. So years ago, I think we spoke about it as well. And recently everyone's been reposting it when he went on to Jerry Springer.
Yeah,
and he gave the belt to the kids. So in his kayfabe commentaries interview, he actually says, "Look, like that wasn't a scheduled thing. Like, fucking, he gave the belt to the kids with AIDS, and then had to ring up Vince and say, look, Vince, like." Because he had to go, he was on, there was a pay-per-view like a day or so down the road. He's like, yeah, like, belt. We need another belt. And he's like, why, have you lost it? And he's like, no, I like gave it to some kids with AIDS. And he's like, oh, all right, fine. He's like, yeah, fine. You know, back then days, they didn't have like a shitload of replica belts. You know what I mean? It was like, you had that belt and maybe a spare. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like...
There's been a lot of stories from people, especially online, like on Twitter, like other wrestlers, like telling these good stories about, you know, how much of a great guy he was, how he would look out for younger talent and stuff. And you know, even I don't know if I sent it to you, that video where he's in Japan and he puts over another guy who becomes a star. Like, it's just, you know, he puts over Tanahashi in a shocker. Like, it's like,
yeah,
guy just got it, man. He got it.
He got it, but he knew, and this is the thing. But this is what they would do. You know, they would drive up and down the country, up and down the roads in a car, talking about wrestling, talking about the business, and even, you know, he was told by Mr. Perfect, look after the youngsters when they're coming up.
Yeah. Because
one day you don't know who they're going to be. Do you know what I mean? So don't fuck over the youngsters, because one day you don't know who they're going to be, you know, and either selfishly or whatever, but like, don't fuck them over, because then, you know, they could help you out down the line or whatever, you know. But Mr. Perfect got it as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I think Mr. Perfect took him under his wing. He apparently come up with the name of Razor Ramon. So,
I mean, it's a sick name.
Oh, of course it is. And he embodied the character. You know, he was Razor Ramon. He was that Tony Montana style character. Apparently Vince hadn't seen Scarface. It's like,
oh, I bet someone else that is currently booking a wrestling promotion has seen it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think for me, the lasting impression that I will take from it, and take from Scott Hall in particular, is, and I did tweet this. First of all, you know, shout out to our boy Cactus Mate. He was on our last episode, like, and I think that was a listen only one. We are back on video. You can see our wonderful faces. You can see see how good we look. That's how we answer the phone to each other. You know, if he calls me, the first thing he says down the phone is, "Hey, yo." You know, that's just how we do it. That's just, I don't know. I can't even remember how long we've been doing it for now. I forget. Like, we've been doing it for years. And I suppose that's the impression that he left on us, you know, as kids watching WWF.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, he's climbing that ladder one last time.
It's mental. Like, I saw a video of that Wrestle Rock Rumble from the AWA, like the rap song.
Oh,
And him and Mr. Perfect were like the fucking tag team champions. I was going to post it on Twitter, but it's too long because on Twitter you can only post a 1 minute 39.
2:20, I think you get.
Yeah, it's fucking mental. So I couldn't post the whole video, but so I didn't bother. But it's mental, and he talks about that in the kayfabe commentaries. I suggest everyone go on and listen to the kayfabe commentaries.
Sean Oliver's dumped a whole lot of stuff on YouTube, and you should be checking it all out because it's all really good stuff.
And that was Scott Hall when he'd first gone into the accountability crib with DDP. Yeah. So he was, turning it around.
Yeah, I get this. I mean, I'm not a religious person, but I did find it funny that someone said, he's most likely got to the gates, saw St. Peter and said, "You know who I am."
But you don't know why I'm here.
And yeah, that's like I said, not a religious guy, but I just find that funny as fuck, man. Just
quality.
Yeah, rest in peace, Razor.
Yeah, man. Toothpicks up, baby. I'm not going to do any more gimmick infringement. I will put it down.
That's how you end your episode next time.
That's right. Just fucking... mate, the Jerry the King Lawler as well, he talks about this on the kayfabe commentaries. Jerry Lawler had a snapped one of these, and he had it in his eye. He put it in his eye like that. And he's he proper sold it when Razor fucking threw it in, and he was loving that. Lawler's just fucking quality. We talk about Lawler in this up and coming episode. I am anyway.
I've got a little bit about Lawler, yeah. Oh man, I mean, I'm not even too fussed about what's going on. We can talk about a little bit after this, but we should dive right into this episode. Or shall we, before we even do that, we say, if you're watching us on YouTube, you know what to do. You've seen the videos, you've seen the clips, you've seen the awesome interviews that we've been having lately, the explosive interviews that we've been having. The clips are on there. You can see it all. So do the thing.
Do the thing. Slap our bell, Slap our bell, subscribe, look in our archives. We've got, like Jordan's saying, man, we've got fucking so much content. And our latest interview episode with Marty Elias is just literally going from strength to strength. We've been featured in a lot of online articles with a few stories that Marty was telling. So shout out again to Marty Elias. Geezer's a top bloke. We chat to him on and off, and that's still...
He literally just a second liked a post I put on Facebook.
Bruv, do you know what I mean?
Shout out to Marty on that live.
Yeah, mate. Shout out to Marty, man. Big up yourself, bruv. We've got so much content. There's just so much stuff. You would probably need a good few days and a couple of mojitos to get through it.
Virgin mojito. Look at him go.
Virgin mojito, bro. My body's a temple. So yeah, man. So where do you want to start? You want to get into this? Tell everyone what we're actually going to be.
Well, this is where we are. This is what we're doing. We're actually hitting up a review, like we said. I know we say it a lot, and then someone from the past will say, "No, I want to talk to you guys."
Yeah.
Just be like, "Oh, fuck the review."
Yeah.
But not today. We actually done a review, and we've decided to do something a little bit different. We love watching pay-per-views. Pay-per-views 3 hours long though, man. Can be a bit of a thing, and there's a lot going on right now. I'm trying to move house. Chris is always busy with work things. Just
work stuff, man. It's literally non-stop, bruv. And
we are literally squeezing you in here. If
we love it.
Or watching, we are squeezing in a tight one.
Young man.
So what we decided to do is we decided to find the most random episode of WWF Raw is War. And, as if we spun a fucking wheel, it landed on November 16th, 1998. which is the night after Survivor Series, the tournament deadly game and all that stuff. And we are live from Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah, bro.
Um,
It's a very significant episode of Raw.
oh, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing, bro. Like, we span that wheel, like the Wheel of Fortune. And
spin the wheel, make the deal.
Spin the wheel, make the deal. And it just, no Carol Smiley. You know what I mean?
Or Vanna White, I believe, if you're going to America. I think.
Oh, is it? Vanna?
Yeah.
Weren't there that other Jenny Powell? Weren't she on it and all?
Not in the UK.
Yeah.
Probably. Mate.
Carol Smiley was
TV game shows after Blockbusters. I sort of it died out for me.
Krypton Factor, bruv.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna.
Do you remember that?
Yes, yeah. Krypton Factor was good because that was like Takeshi's Castle, but if you were very British.
Do you know what I mean? It was Takeshi's Castle with a moat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Takeshi's Castle with a moat, and and even the presenter was like, British old Britishman.
Proper Britishman.
Yeah, he was what was Gordon something, wasn't it?
Good, yeah, Gordon. Yeah.
I mean, even the name Gordon, it's
you can't get much
Krypton Factor. If you've never seen it and you're listening in America, look it up on YouTube. It's a hell of a weird game show.
But you had to be smart, bruv. But you also had to do the assault course, dun, 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 and you had to land a plane.
That is the end. That was almost like the last game, wasn't it? Like you had to land a fucking virtual plane.
Flight simulator, bruv.
So,
that was the shit, bruv. Yeah, Krypton Factor. I'm watching some of them on YouTube later.
Yeah, I'm going to check. Go dig into the old Krypton Factor.
They tried to bring it back, but it weren't the same.
No, it never is it?
No, it's like the Crystal Maze.
It's like when they did with Crystal Maze, catchphrase, all that stuff. You ain't got Roy Walker, you ain't doing nothing. Like,
bruv, I'm gonna post up a picture right here of myself and Roy Walker. I used to work for a company called Regatta, when I was at university, and I fucking and I met Roy Walker. I sold him a jacket. Geezer was a top man, but he'd been in the pub all day. There was rugby on, and he'd been in the pub, and he was like proper pissed up. He was half cut, and it was absolute jokes. Bro, he was proper swaying. I sold him like a £200 fucking rain jacket. There's me and Roy Walker right there.
Oh,
I'm gonna put it on the screen.
I mean, we've gone really off topic.
We're fucking way off.
We started off with Rory's War from Kentucky and ended up with Roy Walker.
That's right. Rory's War does sound like Roy Walker, though.
A little bit.
So, anyway, so November 16th, 1998, Rory's War, straight after the Survivor Series.
Yeah, Survivor Series from 98. It was technically seen as another screw job. A little less screwy, I guess, because Brett wasn't involved.
Yeah. It was the screwing of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And Mankind, yeah.
And Mankind.
But they tend to sort of leave that one out. Austin was screwed the night before by Shane and Vince. And The Rock wasn't involved in that, but he becomes heavyweight champion later on in the night. And this is where we start, because our MC for the evening, Mr. Tony Chimmel, brings out the owners, Vince, Shane, the Stooges, which is all three, Sarge, Pat, and Gerald Briscoe, and what is it, the Boss Man as well. Big Boss Man.
Boss Man was there.
In. I love that. Yep. I love that the Boss Man's still here.
Yeah.
Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross are our commentary team, and this is peak performance.
Beautiful.
Jim and Jerry. This is outside of the puppy thing, which is was Jerry's shtick back then. It is a little bit weird now, because we're grown men. And it's like, oh, he's squealing about tits again. Okay, great. But apart from that, Jerry Lawler is this hilarious, almost heel commentator. Stand up, come on, Jim, come on, Taylor, stand up and clap. for these, the corporation, the owners group, or whatever you want to call it, like, and like Jim even says to Jerry, don't kiss it too much, and all that. He's really. They had a witty banter that, I mean, it wasn't like Gorilla and Bobby. It wasn't anything close to it, but it was like Gorilla and Bobby liked.
It was it was as close as you could get without being Gorilla and Bobby. It seemed like a genuine, at some points fucking Jim would be like, well, you might as well just go and get in the ring with him. Go on, go. Why don't you go up there, kiss ass? You know what I mean? Like, it was good stuff. It was good banter between the two, and this was peak Jim Ross as well.
Yeah, he's amazing. I've put that later on, like on my notes. Like, Jim Ross was so good on this show.
I mean, I hate to say it, yeah. And I know that no one really wants to retire. No one really wants to stop.
No.
But when you watch this, you just think the Jim Ross that we see now he's just not quick. He's not with it. He's just, the voice is still the voice.
Yeah.
And that's what people are clinging on to. I
think even to a point where, like, even some of the wrestling Jim's probably seeing, just like, it isn't getting him going. It's not.
Yeah, it don't.
Yeah, and I can see why.
Yeah, it doesn't give him a twinge in his trousers. You know what I mean?
He was. I mean, you got to remember, this guy was apparently not good enough for WCW in '93. And here he is in '98, just whipping up a storm. He is so good, like, as the main voice of Raw here. Like, if you don't believe me, go and watch it.
He's absolutely fucking killing it. He is. This is peak Jim Ross.
I think we were spoiled in the '90s for 100%. Commentators.
Yeah, we
were.
Didn't know. We didn't know what we had.
No, because on one channel, on one show, you had Jim Ross. On, even before that, in the early '90s, you had Gorilla and Bobby. And then on another channel, on another show, you had Tony Schiavone.
And at that point, '98, I mean, I suppose we still had Bobby Heenan.
You had Bobby Heenan in '98. Yeah. On Nitro, you had Mike Tenay. You had Larry Zabisco, who is underrated as fuck.
Well underrated. Is that Larry Zabisco? 100%. I mean, Dusty Rhodes, brother. I love Dusty Rhodes on commentary. People hate on it, man. I fucking love it.
And one more I'm going to stick in there, because I always thought he had an excellent speaking voice, and just, he sounded like he was good for pro wrestling. That's Lee Marshall.
Yeah, Lee Marshall's good.
Yeah, the old voice of Frosties.
That's right, Tony the Tiger. He is great.
I mean, that's such a random thought, that is. Like, he was the guy. But yeah, fuck, where were we?
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Vince brings out the corporate champion.
This is the birth of the corporate Rock.
Oh, it's good, man. It's so good.
There were signs that said, "Die, Rocky, die."
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's I mean, JR, I think, references butt smooching.
Yeah.
Which
can you see what whose butt is smooching, instead of can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Yeah, that's
he
right.
Says, can you see what butt is smooching?
I mean,
which is classic.
I mean, there's huge boos in this. Like, the fans are, like, he calls the people of Kentucky trailer park trash, and they just go nuts on him. Like, this guy's generating heat for fun.
Oh, like it's nothing, bro.
Yeah. He calls Austin the biggest piece of trash. There's massive Austin chants. Like, you can still sort of hear the Rock, but the crowd are really getting into it. It's a good crowd.
Yeah, they're hot.
They're hot. They're not trying to steal a show. They're not trying to hijack it with their shit chants. or chanting for a wrestler that doesn't work for the company. You know, yeah. Oh, right, yeah. I mean, there's something I want to rant about later about a certain city in America that thinks that they're the greatest wrestling crowd in there and they're shit. But, you know, say that for later.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, huge Austin Johnson. The Rock decides to tell everyone about the corporate eyebrow now. It's now the corporate eyebrow. Yeah.
you know what I mean? And he talks about dropping the people's elbow. Oh no, sorry, the corporate elbow.
Corporate elbow.
And then King goes, "Oh, I can't wait to see the corporate elbow."
Jim Ross is like, "Go up and join them, King."
Yeah, he's like, "Go up and join him."
And then what is it? I think it's is it Vince? It says Oliver Stone, eat your heart out.
Yeah,
like, it's like some big conspiracy. Like,
yeah,
and Oliver Stone was the director of what, JFK?
yeah.
I think he directed the film JFK. Yeah, and like this big thing. Like, I'm not 100% sure on that. I have seen the film JFK, but
because because they're basically they're showing a recap on the Titantron. Vince is like, "Go take a look on the Titantron, have a look up there," and then literally you see Stone Cold. They show pictures of Stone Cold Steve Austin bowling into the building, and the roof almost comes off the place.
Man,
and Vince is like,
"Oh,
get him up there!"
Austin's face just showing up at the building.
It's fucking amazing.
I'm like, these guys they absolutely get it here. They completely understand what they're doing. They know how to milk every last fucking drop out of this crowd.
Mate, I watched WrestleMania 30 the other day, right? I just randomly at work just put on whatever, and I've been working through WrestleManias, and I'm pretty certain it was WrestleMania 30 where you had Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the ring at the same time.
Yeah.
It's when Hulk Hogan talked about the Sky Dome, and it was like, you know,
he gets it wrong, doesn't he?
But those three guys in the ring, I'm gonna upset a lot of people right now, but there is only really one Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. There's only really 4 choices that you could really put up there, and it's Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and John Cena. Is they're whether you like John Cena or not, he is at the same.
What about Kenny Omega and CM Punk?
Yeah, the cleaner, and the fucking no, it's not. It's Cena, it's The Rock, it's Austin, it's Hogan. That's it. That is the Mount Rushmore. People want to talk about the Mount Rushmore of wrestling. There are no other choices.
Okay.
Suck my fucking hairy beanbags if you think there is another. There ain't.
You can suck his parsnip.
You can fucking chow down on the buttered parsnip, bruv. Because if we're going on legendary status of the upper echelons of made it to the dance, you know, there is only them 4 really. And people chat a lot of shit about John Cena, but he carried that company, bro, for a long time. A long time.
Yeah.
I mean, people would argue, oh yeah, but what about Randy Orton? You know, what about Brock Lesnar?
Randy Savage.
What about The Undertaker?
Yeah.
You know, Undertaker should be up there, you know, but really, if you know, there's only 4, you know.
Yeah, there's only 4 spaces, isn't there? So
the only other person that could replace Cena would be The Undertaker. That's it. That's your 5 choices.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's
But yeah, I watched WrestleMania 30 and then 3 guys in the ring, The Rock, Austin, and Hogan. But we're talking about The Rock and Austin.
It's fucking star power, isn't it?
Bruv, it is. You can't get no better, bruv. Yeah? You can't get no better. These 2 guys, the wars that they had, you know, talk about WrestleMania 18, WrestleMania 16, 17, 18, 19, you know, like that was the golden fucking era for these guys. Do you know what I mean? And to think that Austin was Stunning Steve, and then the Ringmaster, and then, the $1 million champion, mad, bro. Between WrestleMania 12, I'm pretty sure in WrestleMania 12 he was Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he was still the $1 million champion, was he?
Not sure. I'll have to.
Because I watched WrestleMania 12
ages.
recently, and I think he was the $1 million champion. He was Stone Cold. I think he was being announced as Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he wasn't giving it the whole shtick. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't fully there. You piece of trash, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He wasn't, fully there. These two guys together, the stories, and with Mr. McMahon, let's not get it twisted. The whole, and even Mankind, bruv, they show the fucking footage on this, and there's video footage of Mankind with his mask on, like having a makeover.
Yeah.
He's there. He's got his feet up. He's getting like a manicure and a pedicure. It's so amazing. He's chatting to the guy like, it's amazing, bro. Mick Foley is fucking amazing. I love Mick Foley. Absolutely love the guy. Amazing talent.
Our show's named after one of his.
Of course. And there are
lines.
cheap pops in this show.
There's a few, yeah.
The Godfather specifically.
I mean, the Godfather's got a couple of things to answer for in this.
Yeah, there's a couple of cheap things he's got.
In the midst of all that, the glass does break, and this place goes fucking mental.
It does. Please watch this, though, guys.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it.
If you ain't seen it, watch it. 16th of November, 1998. If you've got the network, just type in Raw, go to Raw, and then at the top where it says newest first, click the drop down, and there's every single year of Raw available. Click 1998, go to November 16th. It's well worth watching this episode and the one after. It's fucking amazing.
Austin, I'm skipping a little bit, but Austin says that these guys are idiots, that he pulls out the contract that he signed weeks before that Shane had helped him sign to gain his trust and all this before Survivor Series. And this contract said that Austin had a shot at the champion on November 16th on Monday Night Raw, or Raw is War, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And this crowd realizing that they're getting Austin Rock is like, fuck.
They go off.
They're getting the big one. They're saying that it's not enforceable. Austin tells them that he's got it verified by a judge. It's only fucking Mills Lane.
Yeah, that's right.
Boxing Hall of Fame referee, for anyone else who didn't watch boxing, celebrity deathmatch referee.
Yep.
I mean, what
Let's get on.
What a show that was.
Yes, mate.
I love celebrity deathmatch, man. That was some
I swear they
good
did.
Shit.
Yeah, they did like Chris Rock versus The Rock on there.
I know. I think they did an Austin and Vince one, didn't they?
Yeah, they are. I think they done Sean Austin versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, and then they did The Rock versus Chris Rock.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, man. They did some.
It's so long ago since I've seen an episode of Celebrity Deathmatch, but
they'll be on YouTube.
Yeah, probably. Mills Lane verifies it, saying it's all above board. Corporation apoplectic about it, and the build begins for our main event, which is going to be Austin and Rock, which is huge considering they will main event WrestleManias and all that it's top draw stuff. And then because I'm watching it on the network, I think it gets a bit choppy and stuff. I think we're missing entrances and shit because we skip straight on to in-ring action, and it's the oddities with the Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah.
and Luna at ringside, and the oddities are consisting of Giant Silver, Kurgan, and Golga, big Golga, who is in there, and they're taking on members of DX for some reason. Man, this like babyface match because it's X-Pac and the New Age Outlaws, and it's so short you wouldn't know. Blink and you miss it. Golga misses an elbow, which I mean I could feel it. There was definitely an earthquake somewhere.
Yeah, there was definitely. Yeah, he was like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
He's definitely not an avalanche, though.
And then for some reason, one of the guys from the Clown Posse hits Golga, and then Billy Gunn gets a pin.
Yeah, because
it's weird.
The ICP keep fucking over the oddities in weird ways. And on the next episode of Raw, there's another match where they kind of get screwy and they end up beating the shit out of the oddities to create, a bit of a feud there. Because ICP did their music or something for their entrance thing. They were asked to do it.
It's probably why we're not getting their entrance then.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, ICP have wrestled in
everywhere.
WCW, WWF, ECW.
Probably.
Maybe.
And then it was, they were the faces of backyard wrestling on PlayStation, weren't they? And
yeah. There's a documentary, right? Going a little bit off kilter, but kind of on. Around this time, it's called, what is it called? The Merchants of Cool. That's what it's called. It's a documentary called The Merchants of Cool. And basically it's got a lot of stuff about wrestling in it. And it's about these focus groups and how these companies like Time Warner and fucking Viacom and all this kind of thing, how they gauge like what's the hot thing at the moment. And it was around this time, and one of the hottest things was wrestling. It was like 1998, 1999, 2000. Wrestling was like the hottest thing for young people. It was like fucking crazy hot. And they were trying to get in on it. And that's MTV did, like Wrestling Society X. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Wrestling Society X was fucking cool, man. But it was way after the year 2000. It's a little bit late to the party, but it was fucking incredible, man. Like, I loved Wrestling Society X. I got the DVDs. But yeah, this Merchants of Cool has got like ICP in it because like the whole rock rap as well was huge at that time. So it was like Limp Bizkit, ICP, wrestling, and this documentary is just really cool. Like it just made me think about it when we were talking about ICP being in wrestling because they literally were everywhere. They've done a shoot interview for fuck's sake.
Well, yeah, Billy Gunn got the pin, and for some reason, just reasons, the Headbangers jumped Road Dogg on the ramp.
Yeah.
Not a fucking clue why.
Well, you see, if you watch the next episode, you'll see. Because the Oddities face the Headbangers the next week.
I see.
And then something happens with ICP and the Headbangers and the Oddities.
Mankind's in the boiler room, just chilling. Going home from home. Corporation is in the back. They are sitting in their office, I guess. They decide to send Pat Patterson to take care of Mankind. This is like, a fun little story that keeps going through the night.
He can't find the boiler room. He's like, I looked everywhere. I can't find the boiler room.
Holy shit, we have a winner. Because next up, fuck man, this guy is jacked. And I don't know if you noticed it, but he is my winner for sure.
We're talking about Shamrock.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
He is pumped. He is, and I kid you not when I say this, he is pumped like Scotty Steiner.
He's pretty fucking ripped, man. Yeah.
He
I mean,
calls out the
even Val
boss man.
Venus was pretty ripped though as well. You know, but yeah, Ken Shamrock was fucking juiced, fam.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
Sorry, Ken, but he
Jesus
was.
Christ. What was it? You said he's been in the Tour de France.
He's been to Tour de France, mate. He's been on a couple of cycles.
He calls out the boss man. This is awful. This is Ken. God love him. He's not. I mean, he has the look of crazy hard man bastard, but
Yeah, the old. Yeah,
put him on the mic and it just wasn't there, which is probably why it didn't work out for him as well as it should have done in WWF.
he needed
Ken
a
Shamrock had
mouthpiece.
nearly all the tools. Yeah, he did. He needed a mouthpiece. He needed someone to do it
Yeah.
for him. They didn't have that. So yeah, he calls out boss man. Then that's it. Like then we move on to our next thing because there's a pop for Val Venus.
Yeah, cool. Why not, bro? Fucking, I loved Val Venus back in the day, man. Even, bro, I used to pop when you hear the "Hello, ladies." When you hear that, bro, it was just fucking, bro. The geezer was a special guest referee in like a bra and panties match, and he had like a black and white striped towel. Like the geezer was just like.
I remember the action figure I had for Val Venus. It had a towel with it as a
amazing.
Prop.
Yeah, bro. It, like the pop for Val Venus was huge. You know, like it really was.
And he talks about
Kentucky Derby.
Talks about Kentucky Derby and riding bareback and all
riding bareback. Yeah, he fucking. This is 1998, fam. You know what I mean?
He's taking on Mark Henry. Mark Henry's with D'Lo. Now, something I noticed about this, and I don't know, like, I want to see if you picked it up as well. Like, it's not a great match, right? But it's clean.
Yeah. No
botchy. No botchy.
No.
It's clean as fuck. It's not the greatest match. Of course it's not. Mark Henry's not there yet. Val, I don't know, but it's a clean match. It's TV, so your act has to be fucking polished.
Yeah.
You can't be botching shit when you've only got 2 hours on a Monday night of your live show, which is what they had at the time. I don't know if they still had Shotgun and Heat or whatever, but
this is Monday Night Wars, bro.
Yeah. Your shit has to be on point.
Don't fuck up.
And this is what you got. You got a short match. It wasn't a great match, but no one was being dropped on their head. No one was throwing light punches. People knew how to work.
Mate, Mark Henry's face when Chyna comes out.
Oh, he's so happy.
Because there's like a sexual harassment lawsuit or something, he's like sexual chocolate. This is like the birth of sexual chocolate. Like,
Shout out to our very own sexual chocolate. G Money.
G Money. Trust. The whole thing of, at the end he goes, Chyna, come out on a date with me. Because I swear he's got a sexual harassment lawsuit against Chyna.
He literally says, "Hey, girlfriend."
Yeah, he literally does it. He goes, "Hey, girlfriend, come out on a date with me, and I'll drop the lawsuit." Yeah, he said, "I don't want any sex." Yeah, he goes, "No sex, just a date, just you."
Yeah, and he has a little poem for her and everything. Oh,
beautiful. So good.
Yeah, the corporation, we're with them again. Pat can't find Mankind. He can't even find the boiler room, for fuck's sake. So Briscoe, puffs his chest out and says he can do it. Of course he fucking can. He's Jerry Briscoe.
It's fucking amazing.
We get an advert for the JVC Kaboom.
The Kaboom box.
Yes, the Kaboom
box.
Bro. I saw this advert. Anyone had one.
I want one. I want one now. I looked on eBay for a JVC. I'm not even joking. I was like, I'm serious, yeah. I couldn't find one. What was it? Maybe I typed it as a kaboom box. Yeah.
Kaboom box, yeah.
Yeah,
So if any of you had a kaboom box, please let us know what it was like.
Bro, holy shit. Boombox, Ghetto Blaster, Kaboom Box in America for 227 quid. Holy shit.
Yeah.
JV, and yeah, fucking, it's got an auxiliary cable. 1998, yeah, $300. Holy shit. I want a Kaboom Box. That's what I want for Christmas, Santa Claus. Put that in my fucking stocking. But yeah, the Kaboom Box looks sick.
We've got a tag team match next. It's the most random pairing I've ever seen.
Brilliant.
Ever in wrestling history. It's Goldust and the Lethal Weapon, bounty hunting madman Steve fucking Blackman.
Yeah. And
another
Goldust.
guy who's pretty beefed as well. He's
yes. He actually Steve Blackman, sorry to interrupt. Steve Blackman was one of the ones that came out, you know, in the time when Benoit fucking tragedy happened.
Mm-hmm.
He was ones going on TV talking about WWE not having, you know, a wellness policy and everyone being on steroids and all that kind of thing. It was like, yes, Steve, you were fucking bussing the juice, bruv. You were, you know what I mean? You were on the Tour de France.
That weren't just clean fucking road warrior shakes, were they?
No, man.
It was some Myco Pro in that shit.
Trust.
So Goldust and Steve Blackman, try and picture that. Are taking on Jeff Jarrett and the Blue Blazer, and Jeff has got Deborah McMichael with him, and Jim Ross does not go easy on this.
Oh, that is so funny, man. It's like, yeah, how did she get her money? Can you spell divorce?
Yeah, they are ripping Deborah, and I guess in a way Steve too.
Yeah.
Mongo gets it a little bit, yeah. And JR he can't help himself in this. He's going after the Blazer. He's ripping into the Blue Blazer as well. Like Jerry Lawler says, it's a historic night. The Blue Blazers on the Raw. Like
it's fucking hilarious. It could, so one of them said, the King says, with Deborah when she comes up, oh, is it cold in here?
Oh, yeah, she is poking out.
It's fucking crazy.
They are insisting that it is Owen Hart under the Blue Blazer.
Yes.
They are digging him out. To be honest, some of the mannerisms of whoever's under that mask is pretty damn close.
I'd like to know who it was as well, because he was giving it the Owen Hart, woo!
Yeah.
You know, all them. Do you know what I mean? And the mannerisms, I mean, he was a little bit chunkier than Owen, I think.
After the Blazer gets pinned, Owen comes out.
Yeah, because Owen said he would retire because he injured someone. Dan the Beast Severin, that's it. He injured Dan Severin and said he was going to retire. Love Owen Hart.
Yeah, I know. He's too good.
Gerald
Briscoe can't find Mankind, but he's hearing weird noises.
It's so funny. He goes, yeah, I went down there and I got a bit scared, so I come back up. There's some weird noises down there.
So it becomes Sarge's task.
It was hilarious how Vince was talking to Pat Patterson, where he goes, oh, I'm sorry, Vince, I couldn't find the boiler room. He goes, you couldn't find your ass.
It's
fucking hilarious.
Well, here we go. It's time for the man's man.
It's my favorite segment of the whole show.
Stephen with a PH, Regal.
Yeah. A real man's man.
He wasn't even PH in WCW. Yeah, he comes out to the man's man theme, one of the greatest songs in wrestling history.
Absolutely.
Taking on the Godfather, who has some ladies with him.
He's got 3 hoes, and one of them, bruv, looks like a crackhead, bruv.
One of them keeps getting their ass out.
Yeah, it's fucking... And even the Godfather says, well, hold on a minute now. We ain't even struck a deal yet.
Got to calm his hose down.
Do you know what I mean? One of them looked like a crackhead, bruv.
He comes out straight up and says, the Godfather says, I'm a pimp. And I got everyone knows that Kentucky's got the best hose.
Yeah.
And the place goes nuts.
Cheap pop that was the cheap pop of the night.
How are you getting a cheap pop out of telling the city or wherever that they've got the best hose?
Yeah, blatantly.
And he gives
Roll
him a
up
choice.
a fatty.
He gives Steven Regal a choice. You can either, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah, you can fight me, and I'm gonna whip your ass.
Or you can have the ladies for the night for free.
Because he said he's doing it for the working man. He said the 9 to
He
5
is.
ain't for him, but it works for you. So I'm going to do this for the working man. I don't usually do it, but you can have all 3 of these hoes for free for the night. Regal's eyes are popping out.
Smart British man that he is.
Yeah, King's almost losing his shit.
Yeah. The smart British man that Mr. Regal is. What does he tell the world? He
says, and I quote, "I may be from England, but last time I checked, my name was Steven Regal, not Elton John. I'll take the Broads."
And he takes off with the ladies, and just when you think this is a nice wholesome segment,
wholesome,
a good clean wholesome segment, family fun and all that. Godfather quotes Archie Bunker and says something about England being nothing but, and it's a word we can't really say.
Well, we can if you're talking about a cigarette.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. If you are in England and you go out for a cigarette, you would sometimes say you're going out for a fag.
You're going out for a fag break.
Yeah.
We don't mean that you're going out to have sexual intercourse with a man.
No.
It is a cigarette.
It is not. Yeah. In the UK, if you're going out for a fag, you are not ripping into the, gay community or anything like that. You're just having a cigarette. But yeah, that's what he said. And they bleep it as well on the network.
They do bleep it.
I've just put it underneath unsavory comment.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary. I thought we wrapped and we were at the end of a really lovely segment where Mr. Regal gets his ladies. But...
Well, again, if you go to the next week of Raw, right, which I watched straight after it, the Godfather is doing the same shtick with someone else. And he says, look, you can have these hoes, blah, blah, blah.
Not a very business-like sort of move, is it? Just giving his hose away.
No, he was paying, the next one, he was paying for him. It was Regal that he was giving them to for free.
Oh, okay.
But on the next week of Raw, he's just about to do the deal with someone. I can't remember who it was. And then Regal comes out and he's like, stop. He goes, this bloody toe rag last week.
Toe rag.
Yeah, this bloody toe rag. He's a liar. He offered me the women and then he attacked me. And all this and like they get into it. I think of like Regal, a real man's man, starting a feud with the Godfather, which was good.
Yeah. Quick cut to the back. I think it's production crew. Kane is fucking them up. It's very short. Kane is outside the arena for some reason. Next up is your Intercontinental title match. You wouldn't know it, but Ken Shamrock is your Intercontinental champion. There's too many muscles over that belt. You can't see it.
That's right. He's just fucking
taking on the Boss Man. And, I mean, Boss Man can still move in 98.
Yeah. Oh, Ray.
Yeah. And they are brawling. It's pretty ugly.
Yeah.
And then they both decide to just lay out the ref. Can you imagine them doing that to any referees in AEW right now? Like they
Mike
don't
Chioda,
want
isn't it? Is the ref Mike Chioda?
I think so, yeah.
I think he got attacked at Survivor Series the night before. And he was like, no, fuck it, I'm out of here, man. I'm not getting... Yeah, but you know what, yeah? There ain't any refs taking bumps in AEW, is there?
No, not really. They're too busy showing off.
There's one that needs to go for a table onto thumbtacks. I tell you.
Yeah, Bryce.
I don't know. Well, all right, 2.
Yeah. Bossman and Shamrock have this DQ pull apart thing. It's not pretty. And then Vince and Shane turn up for some reason.
Yeah.
And we'll find out why. Vince decides to, mind fuck Ken Shamrock and tell him about family and what he needs and all this. And, he says, we can be your family and all this crap. And Ken joins the corporation.
Join the family.
Doesn't even turn heel on anyone. It's like, fuck it, I'm going to join. I don't need to, piss around for a week or two. I'm joining up.
Instant heel heat.
Yeah, and Kenny's in. You then got Kane possibly attacking fans, plants.
Yeah. Who's
whatever.
asking for an autograph? Kane, an autograph. He's a rudderless ship.
And then we get to the worst part of this fucking show.
Is that Sable?
This is awful. No.
Oh.
This is The Brood with Christian. This is Edge and Gangrel. Great song, great music. Obviously, I'm not knocking that in the slightest. But they're taking on LOD, which is Animal and Droz.
Yeah, this was a terrible segment.
The best part of this segment was me seeing that sign that said Big Worm.
Big Worm. From Friday.
Yeah. Just saw a sign that said Big Worm and I just laughed at it.
Yeah, what's up, Big Perm? I mean Worm.
Yeah, so it's LOD, Droz and Animal. Hawk does arrive. He climbs a Titantron. He threatens to jump. This is not right.
Nah, it's moody, brother.
They try and play up the seriousness of it. Paul Ellering is out there. It's like, come on, guys. This is where they would push it too far, and I can only imagine who wrote this shit. He might try and say he didn't, but I'm pretty sure it was Vince Russo.
It was Russo, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they try and talk him down. It's fucked.
But the whole thing with Droz as well, like when he goes up there and he's like, no, get it.
Why are you sending Droz up there?
Yeah, and Hawk's like, yeah, I think because the whole storyline was like Droz was trying to get rid of Hawk so he could be like a permanent member of LOD or whatever. Yeah. And he's like, get away from me. You're the last person I need up here. Hawk's like, but this is playing real life stuff into the storylines, but it's not like.
Well, it's no different to what they were doing on Nitro with someone else and they're drinking.
Yeah, but and whose idea was that as well?
I don't know whose idea it was because Russo wasn't there at the time, but I don't know whose idea it was to have Scott Hall drinking on Nitro.
No, I think they talk about it on the kayfabe commentaries. Because Scott Hall just says, yeah, look, like, well, excuse me. He even says, like, I never wrestled with a belly full of booze, ever. He said, I couldn't do it. I couldn't wrestle with a belly full of booze. After, fuck yeah, man, straight away. As soon as my match was finished, I was straight in Hogan's dressing room. Hogan had beers in the dressing room, and he'd be straight on it. He said, but yeah, because there was a thing with Scott Hall where he was like being sick and that, weren't it? It was him and Nash.
It's like nowadays when everyone just wants a COVID vaccine, they go into Brian Cage's locker room. Is that right?
Yeah, he's giving out he's injecting, but you have to have it in your ass. So, yeah, he's giving out COVID jabs, but you have to get it in your ass. Yeah.
You should trust him. He's a doctor, right?
He's a doctor. Of course he is.
So
he's a locker room. He's the locker room doctor.
Oh, man. So, yeah, Droz goes up there, pretends to try and pull him away and then pushes him off the edge. And then something I noticed, it did make me laugh. It shouldn't, because it's someone being pushed off a Titantron, but Hawk gets pushed and then it's almost like a split second off. And then what looks like possibly a broom goes flying over, and you can see the shadow of what is meant to be Hawk, but it's most likely a broom.
Yeah.
Just goes flying to the ground. I'm like, oh man, this is hokey as fuck.
It is hokey as fuck. You're right.
From hokey to downright awful. Michael Cole brings out Sable, our women's champion. And for no other reason, Shane comes out and interrupts her, and she says that she's worked hard to get where she's at.
Don't get me started on
And
Sable.
we all know that she's fibbing.
Of course, she's like, at this time, right? You can listen.
Brock, we mean no offense.
No, Brock, allow me. Certain man to get rowdy, yeah. But
his name is Chris.
We've been here before many a time, right? But when it comes to Sable, especially around this time, it irks me because literally WWF,
Luna,
they fucked Luna over hard. Luna, there's JR talking on Grilling JR specifically about Sable at this time, and Sable thought she was getting bigger than what she was, and what she says in this promo, she believes it fully. She's like, no one ever gave me nothing. I've worked hard to get here. No, you ain't, love. No, you ain't. Sorry, love. Sorry, Brock. No, I mean, no,
the blood, sweat, and tears of Mark Mero.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? The blood, sweat, and tears of Mark Mero and the blood, sweat, and tears of Luna Vachon. God rest her soul. All Luna ever wanted to be was fucking champion, and instead they gave it to this fucking woman who didn't know jack shit about wrestling, didn't even probably really want to be a wrestler. She wanted to use it to get to be famous, and she was given Playboy deals and all this, yeah, but Vince was sorting all of this shit out for her, and this is a shoot, kid. This whole thing is a shoot. Shane McMahon coming out and going, no, the person that made you is the man, Vince McMahon. He is the fucking genius. He made you into a superstar. That's a shoot, kid. And then her coming around and saying, yeah, fucking, I've done this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck the Sable. Fuck the Sable. So yeah, I still feel irked to this day.
It was a prepaid announcement by Chris Dredd.
It was a prepaid, you know what I mean? On not my thoughts are not necessarily the thoughts and beliefs of Chat Grapple and Cheap Pops podcast, but I still feel a certain way about how they done Luna Vachon.
Yeah, he did it.
They fucked her over, bro. And when she was wrestling, even Gangrel talks about it in shoot interviews. They said, look, don't leave a mark on her body. And it's like, how are you supposed to have a strap match with someone?
Little whipping, yeah.
Yeah, and you could see in that match, Luna was petrified of Lena, and Sable was green as fuck, hurting Luna.
Laying them in,
bad.
yeah. Right.
It upsets me watching that. We covered that pay-per-view.
We did. Yeah, we did.
It was Royal Rumble, wasn't it?
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Absolute bullshit.
It was fuckery Aguan there.
Oh.
Fuck the Sable.
The Stooges finally are all together looking for Mankind in the boiler room, and Mankind just fucks them up.
Yeah. Good.
There's no other way to describe that. He fucks them up.
He hits one of them with like a tray and he goes, I've got another one. And then just fucking levers him again.
Yeah. And with that, we're at main event time. This is how quick it is. We're at main event time because the corporation are out. Vince is not happy. There's another sign that made me laugh that said Bald Knob 316.
That's great.
The signs, man. So many signs.
Great signs back in them days, bro. Good shit.
Vince is going to introduce the corporate champion, The Rock, to us. And then we get another fucking ridiculous pop. This man is just a pop machine.
The Austin pops are, when that glass smashes, people lose their minds.
And I'm going to break away for a second. One idiot on Twitter, right? And I can't remember his name. He writes for one of the brilliant, wonderful sites that you might have heard of, like What Culture or some shit like that. He was trying to say that Eric Redbeard got an amazing pop at AEW Revolution or whenever he came out on Dynamite or whatever. I'm like, that was not a fucking pop. I'm sorry. Not even close. Some of these kids need to be educated on what a pop really is.
They need to fucking rewatch I mean, chances are they probably never even watched this, bruv.
You know, CM Punk got a pop on his return. Of course he fucking did.
It was
huge.
It was Chicago.
Monumental.
It was Chicago.
That too. And I've said, I've got to talk about an American city and how, you know, how shit they are. It's Chicago. We'll do that in a bit.
We'll get there.
Yeah. You know, I'm not having that these people are getting pops. They're not getting pops. They're getting polite cheers and applause.
Yeah.
You know, not. I'm sorry, they're not popping for Redbeard. They're just not. And if they are, it's because they've all got fucking beards themselves. And they all, you know. No. We're talking about, you know,
neck beard.
You've probably not got a waft of BO like under your nose right now.
Oh, no. Must be your upper lip, son. It's not.
So yeah, there's a huge pop roster. We are getting straight into this. It's fist and fire. There is the crowd going absolutely nuts for it. Again, like this is the perfect idea of a hot crowd.
Yeah.
And they are lucky as fuck to be getting Austin Rock main event on Raw at this time in the peak.
Yeah. After Survivor Series. Amazing.
Genuinely lucky people like who have paid to watch this show. Rock decides to take a walk. He goes up the ramp. He gets halfway up the ramp. He gets clotheslined. The place goes mental. Like it's that simple.
Yeah.
Austin brings him back into the ring and then hits him with a snapmare. I'm like, yes, there's a wrestling move. And he hits him with a suplex and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like he's wrestling him now.
Yeah.
Jim Ross again at this point. This is where I've got Jim Ross being awesome. He is just calling everything. He is so fucking good. And this is the Jim Ross that, yeah, we were talking about earlier on in this show. Like, this is the Jim Ross we remember.
Yeah.
This is a Jim Ross who is motivated, he's definitely motivated. His good friend, Steve Austin, at this time, really good friend. Like, they were like best buds for a while, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they are still very, very good friends. You know, and even King says, oh, you're biased, JR. You're biased. Your friend's like, goddamn right, he's my friend. Yeah. Goddamn right. It's like, there was a time when around WrestleMania 14, when Austin, you know, turns on WrestleMania 15, where he fucks everyone over.
17.
It's 17, yeah. And JR is like, you know, I'm disgusted. This is my friend, you know, the most despicable thing he's ever done. And even, you know, WrestleMania 17, JR is on point, bro, still.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, he has years of consistent brilliance. And
yeah.
Are you going to tell me, you know, are these people going to tell me, oh, Excalibur's just as good? No. Like, that's a simple answer. You know,
Jeremy Bullrash is
Mike Tenay is my guy.
Mike Tenay, Jeremy Bullrash. You know, the Taz even. Taz is good.
I've had my fill of Taz.
No, I agree. I've had my fill of him. But Taz on TNA was fucking incredible. I don't care. Say what you want.
Better than Don West?
No, Don West is fucking good, man. Don West is good.
See, you know I knew I'd get you somewhere.
Yeah, Don West is good, man. Don West is my guy, brother.
Can't not beat Donny, can you?
He was doing a Hebner, though. I swear he was nicking stuff, merchandise.
Was he?
Or maybe he was just a merchandise guy.
He was like, that was where they found him, wasn't it? They found him on like QVC or one of those sort of channels and thought, yeah, this guy's good. Like, let's try him out.
He was fucking great. But I think he's not been very well. He's had consistent health problems, Don West. Yeah.
Man, where were we?
We were talking about commentary, JR being on
Yeah.
point. Austin is like, yeah, and the King was like, yeah, you're fucking biased. He's like, that's your friend. He's like, you goddamn right, that's my friend. It's like fucking brilliant. It's amazing.
The Rock, I noticed The Rock is still getting a small smattering of cheers for the stuff he's doing. You know, some of those fans haven't all turned on him.
No.
I mean, he was the biggest. He was getting like huge babyface reactions just before Survivor Series and at Survivor Series until he turned. So some of those fans are still going to like him.
I mean, even The Rock's character, I was talking about this with my mate Adam. Shout out to fucking Ads. Like, The Rock was a prick. Like, his character, he was a prick. Like, he was supposed to be a dickhead. Like, and he really was just like a smarmy, arrogant prick. Like, but he just, people liked him, you know, because he was funny. You know, the comedy of it when he was, you know, he would parody people, he'd do impressions, he'd take the mickey out of people.
People like pricks.
Yeah. You know, it was fucking great, you know. Rock and Sock Connection is still one of my favorite things in the world.
Yeah, it was. I mean, The Rock was prickish towards Mick in that as well, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. Brilliant.
They do end up like this. This becomes a brawl again. It's not just, you know, snapmares and suplexes. It's out in the crowd. It's, you know, it's a brawl. It's just super heated. No flips, no hurricane ranas, no tope suicidas, nothing like that. No group of like 8 people standing there waiting to catch someone. And then Jerry Lawler gets super excited because he finally gets to call the corporate elbow.
That's right. Brilliant.
Yeah, he's good. Mankind arrives. He decides he's going to leave Pat Patterson tied up in the boiler room.
Pat probably liked it.
He's probably, Pat, Jerry and Sarge all tied up human centipede style.
That's right. And Blakey be the front.
And he has this little brawl with Boss Man. Again, like, this is something I noticed. I noticed the crowd were getting hotter and hotter because I think they knew the end was coming. Shamrock and Boss Man lay waste to Mankind.
Slowly, yeah.
And again, Jim Ross just accentuating a clean shot from Shamrock.
Yeah,
clean shot. That was super clean. Like in it, that was the one that put Mankind away.
Yeah, he was selling it, bro. Because, but this is why I do believe as well. There's got to be a part of JR, and if you watch AEW consistently, I think you can tell sometimes where he's watching it and he's like, "What the fuck am I watching right now?" He's been there through the peak of what we call professional wrestling, yeah. And now he's fucking watching AEW and some of the matches. I bet he's like, "Fuck me, man."
I can sense some excitement when, like, you know, Jungle Boy is out, or, you know, maybe Hangman Adam Page, something. You know, some of that stuff really does.
And Daniel Bryan gets him going.
Bring out a fire in him, but
yeah,
some of it doesn't.
No, that's right.
You know, bowling shoe ugly, innit?
Some
of it, yeah.
Tougher than a government mule.
Yeah. So this crowd getting hotter and hotter and hotter for this, like, this ending which is coming, and the setup for the eventual stunner is fucking perfect. It's like a stunner attempt. He pushed him away, rock bottom, push away, missed clothesline into the stunner, which just gets, you know, the roof going.
Proper pop.
Yeah. You know, and this was what I think, Ken Shamrock pulls the referee out on a 2 count, and Jim Ross is going crazy. Yeah, Austin should be the champion. Austin should be the champion.
That's right.
Then the Undertaker, out of nowhere, wipes Austin out with a shovel. And that's the DQ finish.
That's right.
For some reason, Paul Bearer stops the assault on Austin because he's going to lay him out again with another hit with his trusty shovel. And Paul Bearer stops it. And I can't understand why.
I'm not sure either. I'm looking up to my left, okay, because I've got a Jax playset. All right, it is the Brawl for All Ring of Doom,
the little one.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's got like the little hearse in there, and it's got the Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Nice.
It's got the mini ring with the skulls on. It's got the hearse and that. Because in the next episode, this is when they start carrying the storyline of and it was around that time that Ring of Doom came out, around 1998. This time, because they have the like Buried Alive match.
They do. They have a Buried Alive match at the end of the year, I think.
So, this is where it's all leading to. And the shovel's in there as well in that Brawl for All Ring of Doom. So, yeah.
So we go off the air. That is our finishing point. But we have this thing called Extra Attitude.
Yep.
On the network of all places. So off the air on this Extra Attitude, the crowd gets sent home happy because Ken Shamrock, Bossman, and Shane all get stunners. And Austin has a beer with that scoundrel Earl Hebner.
That's right.
That fucking waste, man.
You love Hebner.
No. Screw Brett.
He screwed Brett. It's true.
We've all seen Wrestling with Shadows.
No, bro. Brett screwed Brett. Yeah.
Oh, not having that. So that was Raw. That was that. Raw is War. What a fucking wild episode of
phenomenal show, bro. But go back and watch it.
You don't want to watch
16th,
it, yeah.
1998.
Absolutely. If you don't have a full 3 hours to go watch a pay-per-view like we'd say you should, take the hour 30 you might have, kick back, watch an episode of Raw, watch this one in particular, and laugh along, and tell us what you think. It's good shit.
It's good shit. Watch the next episode of Raw as well. It's fucking brilliant, man, because they carry on the whole Stone Cold Steve Austin Undertaker thing. It's good.
And with that, we're gonna let loose on a couple of things before we go.
Yeah, because we are. Because
we are indeed.
That was a peak that I believe, and I'm sure you believe it as well, that kind of wrestling show and that kind of excitement and pops and we're very unlikely to see that again. We understand that.
Oh no wrestlers getting 3 pops in one night anymore.
Yeah,
no chance.
So we understand that it's a different time and the wrestling is different, but also we want to hold up wrestlers to a good standard, and I don't think it is consistently good in certain places. So you crack on, son.
We did say we were going to talk about a couple of things. I am just sounding off when I talk about Chicago being a shit wrestling city. It's not as great as people might think it is. Mainly people in Chicago or people that come from Chicago who wrestle today. They are consistently shit, and they hijack wrestling shows by trying to chant their boy's name whenever they can. And I don't get it. And these a lot of these wrestling companies like to head to Chicago. Fuck Chicago. Bring it to London.
Bring it to London. Hashtag.
Bring it to Stevenage. Yeah. Be those guys.
Just bring it.
I also if we have time, I have a problem with some booking that we have seen lately. I know we watched, we spoke about Revolution on our last episode, because the next week or the 2 weeks later, they finally went ahead and switched the AEW women's title. I made a suggestion online on Twitter that they shouldn't have done it that way. They should have switched the title at Revolution and had Thunder Rosa beaten down in her hometown. It said they had to win the title in their hometown. I just think you're setting up a new challenger that way by having her getting beaten up in her hometown. I think it's generating great heat for later on down the line is always better than the pop for one night.
Yeah, but this is the thing. They don't get it. They always go.
I don't know if you agree with me on that or not. Like, it's not something.
No, I do. I agree. But they always go for the easy win. They always go for the fucking Brit in Pittsburgh. CM Punk in Chicago. Fucking Thunder Rosa in fucking San Antonio. Fuck the Thunder Rosa.
There's something about that just rubs us sort of the wrong way, isn't it? Like, Thunder Rosa, she's now recently, only just like this week, complained about Brock Lesnar dancing with a mariachi band. I don't know, like, what the problem is there, because only last night on AEW, her and Vicky Guerrero have this awful interaction where Vicky mentions fake green card and stuff like that. So it's okay for them to do it, but it's not okay for Brock to do it. Is she going to mention when CM Punk did it?
It's funny.
Is she going to mention when Alex Wright did it?
Yeah, that's right.
Is she going to mention when I did it?
That's right. Go on, Thunder Rosa. Say something. What?
Because this is, I bought this in Mexico. I had to wear it home on the plane. It was a terrible idea. But, I love this. I love this. It's great.
Love it, bro. And fucking, you got to pop out of Alex Wright.
I got to pop out of Alex Wright.
Got to pop for that, bro. It was fucking good. But
I don't understand. Like,
they didn't really let Thunder Rosa speak that much. They just let like Vicky cut her off real quick.
Yeah,
because
she got an excuse me as well. That's amazing. I love the excuse me's.
I don't think that Thunder Rosa's all that. She hasn't got.
We don't. We're pretty agreeable on this show about that. It's like, it's just not. I don't see it, and I don't think I'm gonna see it.
She ain't all that. She's mediocre, bruv. She's mid.
Yeah. And
she's mid.
I feel like, when her and Britt have these average matches or less than average matches, Britt seems to get all the blame. I'm not having that either.
No.
There's two people in that match.
That's right.
And, if it's not Thunder coming down with a terrible slapped ass face, because she's not winning at the pay-per-view, I know Britt sold a few things in the cage match, but Thunder did too. What I don't understand what the no selling was all about. I'm sure one day we might find out, and now this this Patreon bullshit, she's asking for fans to buy her tacos on a Tuesday and all this, like, what's going on?
It is fucked, bro. It's fucked. Like, there's gonna be, I promise you, yeah. We've said this. We've spoke about this, and I said before, we are gonna one day have a dark side of the ring, Tony Khan, and AEW, because there's a lot of shit that is going on behind the scenes that no one gets to hear about.
I'll be honest, I don't think you will, because the guys behind Dark Side are very much AEW guys, and we've had this spoken about on the show as well, haven't we? In an interview.
We have.
Like,
all right, well, they can kiss the dark side.
We'll have a WWE version of Rise and Fall.
Yeah, that's what we said as well before, that when WWE releases the Rise and Fall of AEW, I mean, I still think it's fucking the AEW fans still haven't fully grasped. Do you remember when Chris Jericho went on the Broken Skull and was allowed to openly talk about AEW, a current competitor or so-called competitor to WWE, on the WWE network? Vince okayed it. They okayed it. Yeah, Chris, fucking whatever. And he spoke about it loads. It weren't just one thing. Oh, yeah, I work at AEW now. And that was it. It was fucking, it gets my goat. So we might not have a dark side of my ring. AEW.
Well, one of the researchers on that is a grade A tosser anyway. So, and if anyone ever hears it or so, is it Bixen Span, you can go fuck yourself. So
who was his name?
Bixen Span.
Oh yeah,
that miserable prick.
Yeah, okay.
And this is my axe to grind. This isn't Chris's. I think he's a fucking idiot. And this, it's not like me to get Larry about anything.
No.
I cannot stand him. He's a piece of shit.
But we speak to wrestlers on this show, and we have spoken to people that have said on their Chris Canyon episode specifically, there were people that should have 100% have been interviewed that weren't.
Yeah.
And there were people that were interviewed that probably shouldn't have been interviewed.
Some of those interviews were done in a way so these idiots or researchers like Bixen Span
could meet
can basically meet their boys and try and buddy up and make friends.
Yes.
Oh man, don't fucking.
I know. That's right.
And that's why Dark Side is now soured for a lot of people, because they know they've heard these stories of how these jack off dickheads are doing these things to talk to AEW bods, talk to AEW heads to try and worm their way into AEW for jobs.
Yeah, because they know it's like fucking Scrooge McDuck in fucking DuckTales. Yeah. They're following the money, bruv. They want to dive around in the fucking coinage. They're like, oh mate, but this is the thing that I was talking about with AEW. Like, there's going to be stories coming out. There's already stories coming out about how AEW didn't help foreign stars even find places to live. Weren't really helping them integrate into America. It's like, I like I say, I don't see why the strap has been put on Thunder Rosa. I don't see the appeal. I don't know. I don't want to say what I was going to say then.
Ooh.
Yeah. But, whose parsnip is she buttering to get the title shot there? Whose idea is it to push her?
Well,
that's my question.
it's not down to us to speculate if she's buttering any parsnips. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that, maybe that match that people were talking about weren't all Ivor Lee's fault.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm of that same camp there. But the thing is, though, Ivor Lee spoke about other stuff that was. She spoke about other stuff that was going on backstage. We have made.
Ivor Lee, if you're listening, you're welcome to come on the show anytime.
I have spoken to Ivor Lee via email, so you may well see her on the show, because there's bridges that need to be made into what the thing with AEW and the whole marky stuff going on. And even though Regal has said he doesn't like the word mark because it's used in the wrong way or whatever, and fans are the people that keep it going, fair enough. But the thing with AEW is, the whole behind the scenes, the only behind the scenes they want to show you is the hee ha ha being the elite fucking kind of bullshit. But there's other fuckery going on backstage in AEW that Big Swole has spoken about, Eva Lisa spoken about, to a point Hikaru Shida spoke about. It just so happens to be all women that are speaking about this stuff.
I mean, I didn't want to do this one, but I will, because I'm riled. These marks that claim holier than thou, this, that, and the other, AEW's the greatest show and all this. These are the same fucking marks that cheered when Joey Ryan came out at All Out or All In or whatever. The first one, All Out, was it?
Yeah.
They're the same marks that cheered when that guy came out. They're the same guys that paid. And I don't know if you saw it online today or yesterday. You know, they were paying at WrestleCon to touch it. Like, that was the selling point of meeting Joey fucking Ryan at WrestleCon. They were paying $30 or whatever to touch the guy's fucking knob. I'm just, like, these fans get no fucking points from me. These are guys that cheered this shit on, and now all of a sudden want to, you know, claim some sort of like moral fucking side on anything. Nah, fuck that.
Exactly. Fuck that, bruv. They ain't got no moral high ground in this at all.
Yeah,
a lot of these guys.
Wow. I just, like I had to get that one off my chest, man. I do apologize, but you know, like
no, but you're
them.
Right. That's the thing. No, that's fine. You're right, bro. You're right.
If anyone that's listening, if you ever paid $30 fucking to touch Joey Ryan's dingling, one, fuck you for being a fucking idiot, and two, you know, come at us.
Brother, you could probably, if you want to touch a wrestler's cock, you could probably pay Virgil $10.
Yeah, he was probably undercutting, wasn't he? He's probably doing it for $29.99.
Of course he was, $29.95, and you get a free picture of him and Ted DiBiase.
Yeah,
bargain.
Or a random picture of Mike Tyson.
Yeah, who was it was ripping him?
Scott Hall.
Scott Hall, wasn't it? Yeah, he's like, oh, you're selling fucking pictures of Mike Tyson now.
You're not even in this one.
It's fucking hilarious, man. Hilarious.
Oh man, what fuck you. That's a perfect, way to round it off. Yeah, we've got another Scott Hall story.
Another Scott Hall story. And shout out to Britt Baker for wearing the old Scott Hall drip.
Yeah, shout out to Britt.
Attire.
A few people did some nods to Scott Hall like over the week.
Yeah,
I thought it was all fucking good. It was all cool. Not quite coming out to Ready or Not cool, but
yes.
Yeah, that is, man, watching that back, it was like, fuck, this guy was the shit.
He was the shit. He was the shit. Absolutely.
Maybe one day, if we ever decide to take bumps again,
bruv,
we'll come out to Ready or Not.
Honestly, like, I think if me and you were to get back in the ring again, I would, there's very few people that I would actually trust to get back in the ring with now, though, because Cactus Matt would be one of them. You would be another. Sexual Chocolate G-Man would be another one.
Skip would look after you.
Gil would look after us. So there's a few guys I would get back in the ring with, but it would be a select few because firstly, I don't need anyone to drop me on my motherfucking head. I fuck that. I swear you've razor edged me before. I swear Matty has razor edged me. Yeah. So there's very few.
I'm still reeling about you not talking about my clothesline from last time. Like,
yeah.
You done me dirty on that one.
Bro,
calling me JBL and shit.
JBL, well, that's who you was, JBL. It was a fucking clothesline from hell. It was nice. It was doit.
It was a
snug.
Yeah, it was sweat flying.
It was snug, man. It was good. But yeah, man, there's very few people I'd get back in the ring with. But I do think if me and you was to have a match, then that would be probably one of the hottest videos on the channel. So if anyone wants to see that,
remember, Alex Wright did say we were welcome to go and check it out.
That would be amazing. Do you know what I mean? Alex Wright, special guest referee. Yeah. That's wonderkind. Sick.
So who knows? Maybe there is one more match left in us.
There's always one more match left in us, bro. While we're living, breathing.
It's because I messaged Chris just the other day. Like, it might have even been yesterday.
It was yesterday.
I don't know. I got the urge to take bumps. And
yep.
I suppose maybe she just stop chatting about it and maybe do it.
Do it, bro. Fucking, do you know what I mean? I would gladly get back in the ring with you, with Matty, with Gilbert, with the man them. You know what I mean?
See what we can put together.
Getting the band back together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, one hell of a tag team. One hell of a tag team match that is.
Yeah, that is something to think about. So let's just say thank you for now. Thank you for listening. Thank you for checking out. Don't forget to check out that episode of Raw is War and the episode after. If you're watching on YouTube, you know what to do by now. If you haven't done it, why haven't you done it? Like, subscribe,
touch the bell.
Yeah, give us a little bell slap. You know, it's what you do.
Trust. I would also say, watch the Survivor Series from before this Raw. So watch the Survivor if you can. You know,
get some real fucking context. Watch the whole fucking show. Yeah,
bro. Watch Survivor Series 1998, and then watch the November 16th Raw, and then the Raw after that. And that is some fucking good. That is some good wrestling right there.
Yeah, excellent. If you are listening on this episode, you know you've already found us. You know where to find us. We are on everything, and if you know we don't have. If we're not on your favorite listening fucking device, let us know. And
we are on.
We're
on all of them.
It.
Yeah, we're on Podbean, Spotify, Deezer, Castbox, Listen Notes. You know, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We are on fucking, you know, Stitcher, Listen Notes. You know, all of them, bro. All of that shit right there.
So yeah, let's just say thank you. Let's end it properly the way we should. Survey says one more for the bad guys or good guys, depending on how you see us. Take care, everyone. We will see you really soon.